Hey everyone, how's it going? Noise here, and today I'm going to be introducing you to my new series where we intertwine fashion with an insane PvP or PvE build. I haven't come up with a name for the series yet, so feel free to leave your suggestions in the comments down below. Our first build for the series I believe is a sleeper that I don't think a lot of people know about or are too stubborn to take the transversives off for. It's a warlock build featuring Eye of Another World and its hidden stat buffs. But before we get into the build itself, let's take a look at the fashion I came up with for your guardians to try out. Now I know at first glance, an almost all white shader with black accents, people are going to roll their eyes at. I'm looking at you, Dimitri. However, I wanted to build the fashion around Eye of Another World, and I don't know about you guys, but to me, it looks very like mad scientists. Kind of reminds me of the evil scientist from Nightmare Before Christmas that created Sally. Anyway, let's take a look at each piece and shader I chose for the look. So for Eye itself, I'm using the default ornament with the Honors of the Nine shader, which unfortunately is no longer obtainable as it was from Trials of the Nine. However, you can use either Jacarina or Monochromatic as an alternative to still get a similar look. Moving on to the gauntlets, I chose the North Light Gloves ornament from the Dawning, and again, Honors of the Nine for the shader. Same as the helmet, Jacarina is a good replacement. For the chest piece, I went with the Forbidden Visage Robes ornament from Season 12 Eververse set, with the Rustberry shader, which I have no idea how it makes it shade this way, but I'll take it because it looks amazing. Now the boots were a little trickier as I didn't want them to be all white and I wanted them to have like some black accent, so I went with Jacarina as the shader with the Forbidden Visage boot ornament. Last for the bond, I wanted something to pop and stand out, but still hold that mad scientist vibe. So I chose once again the Forbidden Visage ornament, but with the Gambit Jadestone shader for a nice green chemical-esque effect. Now jumping into the build itself, Eye of Another World's Cerebral Uplink perk states that it highlights priority targets and improves the regeneration speed of your grenade, melee, and rift abilities. Now what this actually does is give you plus 30 to each of those stats individually, which is insane because it actually stacks above 100. So here you can see I have 100 recovery, which gives me a 41-second cooldown to my rift, right? But with Eye of Another World on, my in-game cooldown is actually 32 seconds, give or take a second. Also to state, this does not give you faster recovery on your health, it is just on your rift. With all that in mind, the build I have on right now technically has 3 100 stats with 60 intellect and 50 resilience. And to be honest, that's kind of crazy. This build is a neutral game monster, and personally, I think it's best suited for Chaos Reach. Because when combined with Ionic Traces, which grants you roughly 23% energy back each time you collect one, you'll be throwing grenades and melees for almost every single engagement. At tier 7 strength and discipline combined with Eye, both of those cooldowns are 35 seconds, and with collecting just one Ionic Trace, that brings us down to 27 seconds. I also think this build works really well with the ShadeBinder subclass, as darkness-based subclasses actually have longer cooldowns for their abilities than the light-based ones do. The strength stat goes from being 58 seconds at tier 7 without Eye to 43 seconds with it on. Discipline goes from 1 minute and 11 seconds to just 53 seconds. For speccing out the ShadeBinder, I recommend running Cold Snap Grenades for instant freezes to proc Whisper of Hedrons for a 20% damage boost for 10 seconds. Running Whisper of Torment is good too, as taking damage shaves off around 8 seconds from your grenade cooldown every time it procs. I also run Whisper of Refraction to gain some class ability energy each time I defeat a frozen target. And last, I run Whisper of Durance just for the plus 10 strength to equal out the 10 we lose from Hedrons. For the aspects, I prefer Frost Pulse over the turret personally, but I think it comes down to preference. And of course, Ice Flare Bolts, you shouldn't be taking this off. This should be on at all times, 100% of the time. That's all the info I have for today on this build. Go try it out for yourself, and you can either let me know on my Twitter, or you can follow me on Twitch and let me know what you think in the chat. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider dropping a like to let me know if this is something you're interested in seeing more of. Leave a comment on what you thought of the fashion and subscribe to help the channel grow. I'm gonna let the footage play out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Zone C lost. Zone C captured. You have the advantage. Press on. Zone B lost. Five minutes left. Sound tactics so far. Two zones are yours. Zone B captured. Finish this. Vicious. Undeniable. You have Ikora's instinct. Kindred spirits, the two of you.